Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas, and this is your weekly tarot energy forecast for January 9th through January 20th of 2019. We have arrived. We made it. We're here. We're rocking our new vibrations in this new time code on these new timelines, and it's so absolutely exciting. One thing I know for sure is if you've been doing your work, if you've been saying yes to love, if you've been saying yes to sovereignty, if you've been saying yes to light, if you've been saying yes to forgiveness, to releasing all those old patterns that have limited you and held you back in the past, then you are feeling the momentum. You are feeling the providence and the weightlessness of this divine timeline that we are now granted in this beautiful 3D matrix. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As always, thank you all of the new subscribers. I am just so absolutely stoked. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're coming through on this video for the first time ever and you like what you hear, give me the thumbs up or go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell. Everyone, you know when you hit the bell, you will be notified as I upload new videos. So what we do here is we read the Osho Zen Tarot for our main meaty message, whether you're vegan or vegetarian. Option, to have that gluten-free as you wish. And we also choose one of the Voyager deck. Love this tarot, Voyager Tarot by James Wanless. And we pull one of these to receive our overview for the reading. Now, I did want to tell you before we get started to go to my website. The link is down below, and sign up for my monthly love letter. All of my regulars, my subscribers, are going to be receiving a monthly love letter mid-month where I send out blogs, information about my books, any upline, or rather, upcoming online courses that I'm facilitating. I'm so excited. There's so many new things percolating in this beautiful new year, and it's a wonderful way to keep in touch, and you receive my email once a month to your inbox. With that, you also receive a PDF version of my book, The Higher Self Blueprint of Mastery. So get on that. Also, I offer a $30 special, OMG, and I read for people all over the world. I just did a reading for someone in South Africa. I do readings for people in England and in Australia and just everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. $30. I use PayPal and Google Hangouts. Email me. My info is down below if you have questions. I also offer spiritual counsel, spiritual guidance, distance for you. If you are in my region and you're interested in learning Reiki and studying with me, you can send me an email to inquire about that. Okay, so any questions, just pop me a line and we will set up your reading, or I will be happy to answer any of your questions. Let's go ahead and get started with our Osho Zen, with our Voyager deck. So we're going to take a moment to call in our angels and our guides. Taking a nice breath in and a nice breath out. We welcome you, our angels. We welcome you, our guides, and all of those light beings who love us. All of you that are called in to work with us. I sign into the higher self of the collective, that I may channel and commune and communicate the Most High messages as it serves the higher good of all. We thank you, our angels, our ascended masters, all of those guides. We call you in now to help channel through for the greater whole, for everyone that is guided to watch this reading, that they may receive the messages that they came here to receive, that they may be illumined as they gather insight on their journey, as they move through time and space in this body, with all of this beautiful growth, all of these beautiful lessons. What is this first reading for our community of 2019? What is our overview card, dear Voyager deck, January 9th through January 20th? Of 2019, dear Voyager deck, all of our angels and guides, all connected to pure white light, love and light. What divine messages do you hold in store for us? Okay. So here we go. So there's this one that's hanging out, but then a chunk fell in my lap. What to do, what to do, what to do. And then there's that one facing, but I'm not feeling that one. I'm feeling, if anything, I'm feeling this guy. Can you see it? Ooh, there it is. I'm feeling this one. Okay, here we go. We're going to see what it is. Brilliance. I love it. La 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 la. Brilliance. Oh my. Ace of Crystals. Get out of town. And right now, my phone rings. That's in the background. You're going to just let the soothing sounds wash over you. Beautiful. Ace of Crystals. Brilliance. The formulation of pure consciousness into an idea is symbolized by the ace. The citrine sunburst represents the awakening of your mind, a flash of insight, aha, now I see. You are cutting through darkness and clouds, symbolizing unawareness and confusion. The diamond brilliance of your ideas emanates a light that is inspiring, clarifying, stimulating, and and revolutionary to others. Your natural brilliance has shone through. Believe in your unique genius and produce from it. Amen. Hallelujah. I'm telling you, we are on. We are on. We're on. We are plugged in. We are choosing to be on because we are choosing love. If you watch my weekly live stream, 4D Trinity, watch it if you don't. Every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. I go live with my show 4D Trinity, where we basically talk about everything spiritual, metaphysical, healing your life. This week we are doing a special called Alcohol, Sobriety, and the Higher Self. All things metaphysical, all things spiritual. We break down on that show all these kinds of tools and inlets and ways of thinking and understanding yourself and your life so that you can learn to heal your life and be a master of your time and space in this 3D dimension. Get down and boogie. If you can't make the live streams, there's a playlist, 4DT playlist, so come by and check it out. Once a month on that live stream, I also do an Ask Me Anything Q&A, and I mean anything. You can write in your email to me now through my email below, or you can hop on the day and ask your question via the comments. And that one is going to be coming up in 3 weeks. So I will make sure and notify you and put a little video up on our channel so that you know. Ooh, okay, first card to hop out, clinging to the past. But let's go ahead and sign in here and take another breath. I'm going to give these a nice good shuffle. Unless a huge chunk falls out, then we'll know we're supposed to use that. Again, though, our divine angels and guides and all those beloved light beings who work with us, we are so very grateful for all the ways that you serve us, all the ways that you hold space for us to know who we are, to know thyself. We thank you so very much. We are so grateful, and we welcome all the most high divine wisdom and guidance for a reading of January 9th through January 20th of 2019. We bless this reading, and as always, I pray and I affirm that everything I share here, everything we share here at this channel truly serves everyone's divine, sovereign path of spiritual growth and self-mastery, which is really self-love. Self-love, self-love. Okay, we have another one here. So divine cards, we welcome your wisdom. We welcome all the ways. I'm getting to give it one more, as I call it, one more Vegas style flush. Flush? Ooh, one other one popped out. One more Vegas style. What is this called? It's not a flush. It's a flash? Stash? Stash the cat? It's called a, what's it called when you do that to the cards? What is that called? If you know, right, tell me in the comments. I knew like 2 minutes ago. Okay, another one's coming out. And now, for some reason, it's gone. Shuffle. Shuffle. There we go. All right. So as you know, if you watch these tarots, usually we'll get our poppers that will fly out. We'll get maybe sometimes a whole stack of cards that will just throw itself out for us. So let's see what is ready to be revealed for us, for the greater whole, for this collective, for every single person who is guided to stop by, to watch this show, May we all receive your divine and sweetest, purest, most high counsel, divine Osho Zen. So we had a few fall out. I'm going to just keep going and wait for just one or two more. So we thank you. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Interesting. You know, it's very interesting. So I feel like there's a theme. I just read for someone recently, and a lot of the same cards are coming through, but I do feel it's not because I didn't shuffle, you know, between then and now and right now, but because there is a theme that we are collectively going through. And so we're going to get into it, because I feel that her theme is a theme for all of us. So let me lay these out, and then I'm going to show you what we have. Actually, there's quite a few here to get through. It's really very, very powerful, though. This is so good. Okay, so that first card to fall out, clinging to the past. Clinging to the past. This symbolizes the part of us that is not here, the part of us that has not fully surrendered, blessed, let go of the past so that we could fully be here in the now. This is all the part of us that's still everywhere but now. And it's symbolized by this dress that this individual has on. And it's, according to the little booklet, which I read, learned, and then abandoned over 20 years ago. A side note, according to the teaching of this card, the dress that this individual is wearing is old and shabby. It's an old dress. They're wearing in their aura the fabrics of what has been, that is old and tattered and torn, that had once served them, that has brought them to here, but that no longer serves them to wear that vibration anymore. And it symbolizes this box that they are holding. They are putting it there themselves, this box that is blocking their view. It's blocking their heart, their throat, their third eye, and their crown. They're living from a little bit of the heart, but really they're living from, no, I will say that. I will re-say that, because look at their heart is there. They're living from those first three chakras, though, for the most part, versus living from the divine nectar within, if you will. There's a window behind them. See that black opening? And that window is the gateway into the now. Not into the future, but into the now. And this beautiful Holy Grail is sitting there at the window saying, if you just look the other way, if you just turn around and take a moment and look away from all those distractions of the past, all the things that are keeping you everywhere but here and now, you would see all of the blessings that the universe, that your guides, that God, that Source has created and is laying at your feet now. But because there is a distraction and we are so concerned with the past, and ultimately there's an aspect with this card of control. When we are so absorbed in the past actually takes control of us. And we navigate everything that's happening right now from that past state of being, from that version of who we were before. And what happens, because you're not in the now, because you're not in your full power and authority in the right nowness of you, this leads to postponing the things that you know are true in your heart, the colors of the rainbow painted on your heart, where you are ready to go through that window. Now, and I recognize this may not apply for everyone. You might be feeling like, woohoo, I'm hitting all the dots, I'm signing on the line, I'm connecting the dots, I'm meditating every day, I'm doing my thing. You may not feel this way, but perhaps there's a tiny thread here for you. Postponement. I will say in general, when we are not allowing ourselves to live in the now 100% fully, or to the best that we can, what happens is the universe has to postpone all of our good. And again, it creates this portal where it's like the universe is saying, okay, and look, in each of these cards there's a window. And there's the rainbow in the postponement card. There's the rainbow of this beautiful landscape that's just waiting for you, for me. But look at the individual. They are encased in the past. They are encased in the black and white. They are encased in the binary, in the duality, versus the full spectrum, versus having all their chakras turned on and plugged in and operating from the beautiful full spectrum of their infinite rainbow self. Just like this person, they cannot see what all the good is laid out for them because they are in their mind. And the more that we stay in our mind, and the more that we think that we have to control, or that honestly that we have to figure everything out, that can drive us crazy. And this leads to a lot of distress in the body, a lot of distress in the mind. And it leads to this fighting mind where you end up shadowboxing, you end up fighting yourself because you think you have to figure it all out. And the beautiful grace that we learn here at this channel, and that we learn along our spiritual path and journey, is that we don't have to do it ourselves. So if this message is speaking to you, please know that there is another way, and that you can call on. If you don't believe in God, that's all good. I use the G word quite often here. Yet know this, that all God is love. It's love and only love. When we have run ourselves ragged of trying to make things happen in our life, of just trying to push, trying to move things and manipulate people, or to try to scheme it all out. And believe me, there is a time and space to get organized, to have a vision, and to fortify yourself, and to affirm, and to intend, and to hold that sacred space, and to move forward. Yet, when we are clinging to the past, and we have not yet let go and resolved those emotional issues, which is always within the self. It's always about self-love, self-mastery, right? Your freedom, your enlightenment, your just ability to be here now and to laugh and to count your blessings and to enjoy your beautiful life requires the death of you. It requires a letting go of who you were before, a letting go and a healing of the emotional wounds, of a real farewell and forgiveness to who you've been in the past, so that you can be reborn. And we know, if you watch all of these videos from all of 2018, that's all we were doing. And as you did that work, and it wasn't always easy, you know, but the work is laid out ahead of us. It's like we're given these divine messages and these readings and all the channelings that come through, and what do we do with them? And so sometimes what happens is we ask for guidance, or we go to a healer, we go to a tarot person, we go, you know, we go online, or we seek out information, which is good. That's why we're here. We're connecting the dots. We're getting into working towards, how do I heal? How do I understand myself and my situation? Yet when we are asking for the answers, and the answers are given, yet we don't receive them, especially if they resonate. I mean, if it's an answer that is like, okay, no, I do not want to do that. That sounds really weird and like something really that does not resonate with me. Of course. If it's not authentic to you, don't do it. Yet where there's a resonance, and you ask God, you ask Spirit, you ask the tarot reader for, like, I want help. How do I help myself? And they tell you, this is what the cards are saying. This is what I'm channeling for you. This is what I'm getting. But you don't receive it. The only reason why you can't receive it is because your channels are clogged, because there's still this needing to release. There's still this needing to let go emotionally. And you know, there's a grieving process with death. When you really let yourself die and let go, there is an alchemical, a passion. That word comes into my mind. That's amazing. There's an alchemical passion and potion that is released within your mind-body continuum through all time, space, and all dimensions, as you would have it, that is given the right of way, that all that stuff can be erased and released for the highest good, to the level that you're ready and that serves your highest good of your healing path at this time, that stuff can just fall by the wayside and actually disappear and be transmuted into love and light. You become transmuted into love and light. if you allow. But as long as you're still holding on to whatever it is, whatever it was, whatever that didn't work out the way that you thought it should, versus allowing under grace the highest good for all, that's where stress manifests. When we think we have to figure it all out and it's not working and it's like pushing something uphill versus just flowing, stress abounds. And also being mindful with stress, because stress brings out our tar body. It brings out the shadow side of your nature. It brings out the manipulator. See, when we try to push rather than flow, and again, believe me, there's that time where you got to go for that gold ring. Yet, as you know, if you watch these videos, I will say not all the time is this like pushing and pulling and masculine energy of like, go, go, go. There's the divine feminine. There's that divine yin yang. That's that divine balance of those tipping points. There's the cultivating of that ability to be receptive, to meditate, to learn how to listen. To learn how to listen to your heart, to your truth, to your higher self. Yet as long as all those synapses are still firing from your past, as long as you're clinging to the past, looking at the past in your now, postponing your now, by that creating this fighting energy in your head, my goodness, you are in the sympathetic nervous system. You're in the fight or flight. You're in survival mode. And you're invited now to come into the thrive mode, to come into the rest and digest, where everything, all of your health and all of your blessings are given their maximal ability to operate maximally in the state of grace under maximal love. And in that way, the part of you that's looking in the mirror and talking to yourself and projecting all this stuff of how you should have done things different and why you should have been better and how did you let them get away with it and da-da-da-da. Believe me, these are passages, we go through that. But being mindful not to get suckered in to the tar body, not to have these conversations any longer than are required. We want to get out of this fighting mind. Not that this no longer has to be your daily bread. This projection, because then you're looking at yourself in your mirror and you're wondering, how can I fix this? And while yes, there are things you can do, ultimately the way that we start to fix anything here, how I teach, is to meditate, is to relax, is to be silent. In my book, Heaven, what's it called? It is a Heaven on Earth book, but it's, what's it called? It's called How to Manifest with the Law of Vibration. And it's half workbook. And one of the first keys in the workbook is relaxing. Unless you are willing to cultivate the conditions of peace within you by relaxing, how are you going to know peace? How are you going to hear those little whispers of your higher self? Of God, of love, of nature, of synchronicity, happenstance, and divine will that is ready to pick you up and carry you and move you into a different timeline of absolute blessings and abundance on all levels that to you mean good, that to you are what you know is true to you, that you align with, that you not only want, but that you know is already yours because you've tapped in and you have cultivated the ability to be silent, to listen to God, to listen to truth, to listen to your heart. And through the continual practice of meditating, you open your channels. You emotionally are given the ability to relax and to activate that divine feminine force within you. You see, and when divine feminine is activated by being quiet, really, then the divine masculine in you can play. And there's not such a struggle, there's not such a push. And a gentle balance of both of these energies then are given right of way to work through you. Yet there is our own we must surrender. We must realize that if it's not working out for you, if you're in 2019 right now and you're like, everything's hitting the fan, I'm not where I want to be, I had to do this and this and this, and I really didn't want to, but the universe put me here, and blah, 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 and it's not working out, and I don't have any money, and I don't have any friends, and I don't have any, meditate. Be still. Be silent. And from that place of relaxation, begin to cultivate your ability to be still, your ability to listen to your truth. The world it does not have to be a bad place. The world does not have to be a hard place to live. Ultimately, if you study with me, where we're going is cultivating a 4D consciousness and tapping into heaven on earth realization. But the call to action here is you loving you, is you being a master of you. It's no more time now. You've gotten all the Reiki attunements, you've read all the books. As Marianne Williamson would say, you've listened to all the tapes, you've watched all the videos, you've gone to all the workshops. Now you live it. It's time for you to put it into action. So, I was working with a client, and she doesn't know what to do, and I say, well, you're attuned with Reiki to level 3. You know how to meditate. You know how to do affirmations in the mirror. You know how to journal in your journal. That's a whole bunch of tools right there that you have in your toolbox, right? In your Mary Poppins bag, your carpet bag. You meditate and you say, okay, higher self, I surrender all of this pain, this anguish, this fear, I'm so frustrated, I'm so stressed out. Help me. Get it out, let it go. And it's always in those moments when we have finally just had enough and we're like, I need help, God, I need help, angels. I need to go to that AA meeting. I need to, finally suck it up and go to that thing that helps people with this condition or whatever it is. You stop hiding, and whether it's in a 3D, seeking a community that will serve you, but ultimately it's you that will serve you. And that's what we're learning, is to master up. Yes, go to healers. Yes, go to community groups. Yes, 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 yes. And be your own healer, and be your own master, and be your own community group too. How? By meditating. Using the tools that you've already cultivated. There's probably books on your shelf that have little 1, 2, 3. Here's how you do it, and not just reading it, but actually sitting down and doing the written work. Sitting down and asking yourself, how do I feel about this? Knowing who you are. Because that's where we're going in this new year, in this 2019, in this 11 year. Why did I say 11? That's weird. In this 11 year, okay, in this master year. And that's funny because 9 plus 2 plus 1 is 12, is 3. Interesting. Getting to know who you are. This is the year of authenticity. And so, an unraveling of self. An unraveling of self. You being able to quiet your mind. You being able to quiet your mind. Breathe. I have on my meditation playlist, which I will put a link up top for, there is some very short little guided breathing meditations. This is about altering your state of consciousness so that you can be more. And through that death of you, again, your DNA, all that junk. If you're not happy, if you're stressed out, you're living off your junk. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase, please. I'm not sorry. Forgive me, I will say. I will rephrase. How I would like to rephrase that is that you are living on a DNA that is ready to die. The junk DNA, the sleeping DNA within you is ready to awaken. Yet it cannot awaken that brilliance, that insight, that clarity, that inspiration, that motivation, that ambition, that like, aha, as this card was saying, that brilliance cannot awaken when you're here clinging to the past, in postponement, when the mind is fighting with itself, when the body chemically is under so much stress that it starts lying to itself. It starts trying to figure out how it needs to manipulate and make things happen. And again, as we meditate, we surrender, we make peace with the past and let it go and bless it. A force is allowed to come into our lives, into our thoughts, onto the tip of our tongue, into our bodies, and create a healing, create synchronicities, create divine appointment and opportunities where there were none before. And that's the metaphysics of love. When we allow love in, when we say yes to loving ourselves, everything starts to move like Tetris, starts to shapeshift, starts to activate. And so the invitation again is letting go. So that divine balance of that masculine and feminine can playfully advance in your favor. Because really, we are becoming enlightened. Now, I know it's funny, I love watching astrology and tarot on YouTube, and I have my handful of faves that I watch like every week or every month. And one gal who I absolutely love, she's an astrologer, and she made this really massive claim this week. I don't know if I agree with it. I don't agree with it. And she said, if we're alive on this planet, we are not enlightened. I disagree. I feel that absolutely we can enlighten. We can become enlightened. We can be enlightened. And, you know, and some Buddhists might say, well, that means that you have to be a bodhisattva, specifically here to raise the consciousness of other people. Okay. That's one story. Yet another story is we are becoming enlightened because that is what's happening. And if that is a part of your truth too, you don't need someone else to tell you that it can't happen. And if you have had someone else tell you that it can't happen, I'm here to tell you that it can happen. That's my story. That's what I'm welcoming you all into, is to know that that's what we're doing. We are becoming enlightened. We are becoming enlightened, individually and collectively, together. And on our own, we are going through this journey. But are we going through the journey? Are you being dragged by your emotions? Or are you surrendering and being carried by your feelings, by your truth, versus your mind? Very interesting. But only you can do it for yourself, we know, and only you know what is true to you. So the call here, again, is to meditate. And what I love here, the bottom row, is full of fire and full of power. Full of fire and full of power. There is a great call, you know, and some people say, well, I just don't know how to meditate. Getting out into nature, exploring your oneness with nature, breathing in nature. So leave the laptop, turn off the phone. Like if you need to check messages or whatever, do all that, and even in a safe zone in your car, leave all that stuff behind. You see, yes, technology is advancing, and yes, we are a part of that. Yet, outside of that, we are advancing in our own right in this human form. And the training here, the initiation, is getting to know the signature vibration of that, getting to know how that feels without something technical, I want to say, without the phone or the iPad or the whatever in your palm, without the thing in your ear. Unplug. Unplug is this message. Because while you can get all your messages, right, through your phone, through your, onlineness, there's a different onlineness that's always here for you, and it's Mama Earth, it's Mother Nature, it's her wisdom. It's her ability to help you heal your life just by being in her mere presence. And it's also the whispers that she tells. Whenever I go into nature and I just hang out and I breathe and I receive and I lay on the rock or sit on the ground and just look at the trees, it only takes a few minutes and I feel this shift of consciousness, this altered state, this shift where all of a sudden everything expands and in a beautiful way. And I feel this conversation with the earth, with the wind, with the elements. And you don't necessarily have to feel all that, but it's there. It's there if you would receive it. And within that, there are telemessages. Through this dimension, through the multi-dimensions of you existing in parallel dimensions, all those parts of you that exist in parallel dimensions that are saying like, hey, this is the version of you that I'm doing exactly what you love to do. I'm actually making time to heal my life. I'm actually making time to go for those goals, to create the correct conditions that I can live peacefully, healthily, and happily. And I'm surrendering and I'm asking for help from my angels or from Source, from divine white light energy, whatever name you give God or love. There's a part of you, there's actually an infinite amount of fractals of parts of you existing in these multidimensions that are already doing what you want to do. They've already succeeded. And so perhaps a part of your meditation is to tap in and to ask them, how do I get there from here? What is your guidance? Well, right now, the cards are saying to meditate and to consciously take time in nature. And especially over this January 9th to 20th, get out if you can. I know in some areas it's snowing, it's cold, but even still, on a good day, when it feels good, it feels warm enough, or the weather is right enough, get out, because this powerful bottom row of cards wants you to know that where you're going is to a breakthrough, to an absolute breakthrough. And that's in the third chakra. That's a breakthrough in the 3D. So when we begin to meditate, there's this ungluing of us from thinking that the world and everything 3D in it is absolute and real. We begin to departiculate. It's just coming through. And see our separatedness, but also at the same time are reconnected in our oneness. And so remember earlier, there was this sense of like, with this box covering, yes, there is some of the heart there, but you can't see, your third eye is covered. Your throat, you're just talking about how to figure out and how to do things based on the past self and based on all this stuff you're still trying to do from the past. And the universe is saying, honey, you're not even there anymore. Look around you. You're in somewhere completely different. Be here now. The universe has an infinite amount of blessings for you. The crown, it's fully operating from the lower chakras. But here you go, through doing your work, through meditating, through practicing your self-love, through shifting your biochemistry, through breathing, through being in nature, through saying yes to love, through surrendering all your problems, giving them to God, literally. Boom! That space is made in your third chakra, and your third chakra is your I am here. It is your ability to be in your full power and authority, to know who you are as your true self. Not who you think you need to be, not who the world has told you need to be, not what you think you need to be based on someone else's, or even on a story that you've told yourself that's rerunning. Yet if your body's frazzled, and if it feels like you keep walking into a wall, it is time to rewrite that story. Because this is here for you. And boom, this is here for you. Divine connection. This is the egg. This is you. This is the egg of you. This is your fertility. This is the story. This is the real story of you. And it's vibrant and it's plugged straight into God. It's plugged straight into Source. Plugged straight into your heart, the truth of you. And when your heart is turned on and you're tuned in, your 3D self cannot help but break through all those old chains of limitations. Because look, the ending card is the rebel, which is all that's happening here. You get lit up, you get turned on, you get woken up, you become enlightened. You become enlightened. And all of a sudden you remember your power. And you remember how actually joyful and easy it is to walk in your power, to own your power, to communicate as your power, to say yes to your power. And what is your power? It's always you choosing love, choosing self-love first. I'm practicing that over and over and over again. So what is the seed? What's the real story? If this story that you've been living off of isn't serving you, if you feel like you're just that hamster on the wheel, you're not getting anywhere, universe is not serving you up any new things, you know, there's work to do. What's really in there that's waiting for you to finally listen, to hear it, to rewrite your story, to let go even of any story, and to let your egg, your fertility, to just be a blank slate, and to say, use me, God, use me, Source, use me, love, use me, divine white light of creation. Show me, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say and to whom? Right? That's a prayer from A Course in Miracles. And it's a big deal because we have to surrender the way that we think we need to make it happen. We have to let that control go, that 3D control, so we can merge with the 4D, with the heaven on earth realization, with your peace, with your power is in your peace. So either just zeroing that out, and it is a zero, zeroing out your story. In fact, there's the title of this tarot, Zeroing Out Your Story. Zero it out. Get the blank slate. Get the journal. Write. Do an exercise. 5 minutes, 1 minute, however much time you feel that you can handle it or do or that you want to do. Set the timer on your phone or whatever, and get a piece of paper and be like, how you want, your life to be, but not from here, but from what you know is here. And until you do those kinds of exercises over and over and over again, will you realize what you thought the truth that was coming from here, you actually realize, wait, that's been the thing that's been distracting me. That's been the thing that's actually been holding me back. And when I really get quiet and I really listen and drop into the heart, there's more, or it's a completely different truth that's in there. But we don't know that until we do the work and we uncover those layers of subconscious, of stories, of conditioning, whether we put them in there or the world put them in there. Wherever you are blessed, you are whole. You are so blessed, yet only your ability to choose it as so is what gives it its power and potency. So you are fertile. Zeroing out your story so you can write a new one, or so that a new one can be born in you through divine source, through God, through white light, through love. I was teaching yoga last night and I heard these words come out from my mouth. A lot of them. But this one specific thing that said, that's all we're doing here. That's all we're here to do, is to experience love. But only you can do that for yourself. We look outside of ourselves, relationships, romantic, our mother, our father. Yet the real way that we get to know thyself, become empowered, heal our lives, and be a master of our time and space in this dimension and through all dimensions, is through practicing self-love. And it's not just a once-off. It's a commitment. How ready are you to commit to yourself? How ready are you to commit to a new story? How ready are you to commit to surrendering to your power? How ready are you? Cards are saying you're ready. There's just a few bits and bobs that you get to work with, to let go of. And even if you don't resonate with those bits and bobs from before, if there is nothing for you to let go of, so that you can come into your greater clarity and greater brilliance, and not just have one aha. This is a generous universe. We're not just having one aha, honey. We're having like aha after like whoa, 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 like your mind is being blown constantly. It's like orgasms. You don't just have to have one orgasm. You can have orgasm after orgasm after orgasm after orgasm. It's an abundant and very generous universe. If you would have it, how would you have it? Because whatever you're affirming, whatever you're believing, that's what you would have. You're saying, I place my order in the cosmic kitchen. That's what I want. Even if it's something that brings you stress. Until we realize what we're doing. As we learn to participate more consciously in our present time from a place of our heart, as we rewrite the story, past life connections start to come in. And we've been talking about this for some time over this past year. So your story is what you are fertile with. It is the truth in you, and it is ready. It is ready. What's the word? It is ready to be, when the sperm meets the egg, fertilized by love. Your story, your seed, that you carry as your truth of who you are, of what you're here to do. Prepare that space in this week, or this 11 days, January 9th through January 20th. If your seed is full of old stories, how are the new stories ever going to get in there? How are the new, versions of you ever going to be born, let alone be carried, fertilized? You have people here that see you, that know you, yet the caveat with this past life card is that they only recognize you when you are in your power, when you are in your love channel. These past life connections, now, okay, I won't say only, because we do have past life connectors that are specific to us when we're not in our true self, that come along and they say, hey, wake up, friend, hey. They bump into us, or we have interesting situations with them, where they will help serve us in remembering who we are, remembering our truth. Yet, the more that your lights of creation turn on and the more true you remember and allow yourself to embody your truth as being, that's when, boom, not just one past life person, but a community, like a whole legion of your past life peeps. They start stepping up, because you know what, honey? If you're here, if you're watching this video, you are here for a reason. There is work for you to do here. And it doesn't mean you have to sweat and work hard for little pay and in a job that you hate. No, I'm talking soul work. Soul work that nourishes, that feeds you, that doesn't feel like work at all, that brings you great joy, that actually fortifies you, strengthens you, and gives you energy, doesn't take it away. So, how are you going to be a rebel? By healing your life, by saying no thank you to those past patterns, to those past limitations, to those past stories of who you used to be. You're going to say, thank you, old self, past self, but I'm moving on now. I'll put a link to my energy letter video as well. And I'm so excited. As I said before, I'm going to be making, I'm in the process, I'm just cutting my teeth with figuring out and learning how to do online courses for this beautiful community. It's something I've been wanting to do for so long. And I have a list as long as my arm of little courses that we can do together. So it's just a matter of me 3D'ing up and getting those wheels turning and getting them in process. Zeroing out your story. I wish you so much love and so much light. If you would like a deeper, more personal reading, again, $30 for 30 minutes. Send me an email down below. We will figure out the time zones and we'll schedule it up. I also, with that, I give you I record our session and I send you an MP3 of your reading. Sign up for my website, or actually, sure, sign up for my website. Sign up for my newsletter at TuesdayMayThomas.com. All of the links to all of my books are down below. I have books you can buy. I have a couple free books, little mini books you can download at iBooks and at Kindle. I love this community. If you want to donate to this channel, I welcome your blessings. And I thank you, everyone who has donated. I'm very, very grateful. $1, $5, $30, whatever it is. I mean, you've sent in all sorts of offerings, and it's just really helps me. It just really helps. So thank you. Circulating the love, circulating the light. I'm so very grateful. I bless this community. Namaste. Blessings for a beautiful and powerful January 9th through January 20th of 2019.